First City Focus is supported in part by Duke Energy, powering the lives of its customers and communities. Online at duke-energy.com. Andy Ellerman of First City Wealth, serving Vincennes and surrounding communities to help with investing and planning for your future before and during retirement years. First City Wealth online at firstcitywealth.com. Colonial Assisted Living. Colonial is an assisted living residence promoting independence and dignity for each resident while providing the necessary assistance for daily living. Colonial Assisted Living, 1622 South Hart Street Road in Vincennes, 812-895-1504. And by donations contributed by Vincennes PBS viewers like you. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to First City Focus. I'm your host, Dave Foster. And on this episode, we're taking a look back at some of the great stories we've brought you so far this year. We'll revisit the story of Lisa Wells, who gave the ultimate gift of life at the end of her journey here on Earth. Who could forget the triumphant run of the South Knox Lady Spartans basketball team as they battled for the state title? One local artist made environmental awareness come to life with his Portrait of the Sea exhibit. We'll go back to the local Night to Shine event, helping many celebrate like kings and queens. And we'll explore the many cats and dogs who are still waiting to be adopted at local shelters, including the Vincennes Animal Shelter. We'll join Nicole Carey and Dave Novak as they venture over the edge for Granted's annual fundraiser. And something brand new to take in, our recent broadcasting camp featured the talent of many area kids. We'll share some of their work and more right here on First City Focus. Earlier this year, Good Samaritan Hospital helped coordinate one of its first major organ donations in over a year. It came as a life-saving gift made by Lisa Wells of Sumner, Illinois. Her daughter Samantha proudly tells us her story.
So Mom was 69 years old. She had just celebrated her 69th birthday in November. She was, I would say, my biggest supporter, my biggest fan, and I was her biggest fan. She was as selfless as the day is long. She was such a fan of like dirt car racing, football, college basketball. We experienced a lot of things like that together.
Samantha proudly recalls when her mother made the decision to become an organ donor, inspired by a tragedy that turned into an inspiration. 27-year-old sprint car driver Brian Clausen died after an accident on the track in 2016. But his tragedy in turn saved the lives of 5 people through his organ donation, along with healing many others through tissue donation. He started a movement inspiring more than 7,000 donors to sign up through the Indiana Donor Network's Driven to Save Lives program, including Lisa Wells.
Then shortly after that, when she renewed her driver's license in November, she said, if Brian can do it, I can do it. And I said, yeah, Mom, I think that's terrific. His family had kind of started this campaign, Driven to Save Lives, and they were recruiting people to, become organ donors. There's just not enough organ donors, and so she was excited to be able to do that.
Lisa, a former smoker, had 20 years between her and her last cigarette. However, diagnosed with COPD, she continued to battle with her health when it came to her lungs. Earlier this year, a flare-up unfortunately left Lisa in dire condition at Good Samaritan Hospital in Vincennes, and decisions had to be made.
My dad and I, after talking with the doctors, had collectively decided we were going to remove life support based on her wishes. And they came in and said, hey, your mom was an organ donor. And I said, oh, okay, I forgot about that. And actually my dad didn't even know. It was just an overwhelming feeling, but I thought what a sense of pride she would have. She would be so excited to know that she was going to get to do this.
And with the decision to donate, Good Samaritan officials started putting plans into action, including a way to pay the utmost respect to Lisa and her family with an honor walk.
A lot of hard work has went into this, helping this patient and this family is a very emotional thing for people who take care of the patients. So I think it's a very rewarding that they can see us see this help someone else.
Samantha says the hospital staff and Indiana donor officials rallied around her and the family, helping to support them during this difficult time of saying goodbye to her mother while looking to do the most good at the same time.
Terrific. The hospital was, the ICU floor, all the doctors and nurses, and then also the staff from Indiana Donor Network. We had different advocates each day, different coordinators each night, and I mean, they didn't push anything on us, but they answered all my questions. One of the coordinators even talked with me for almost an hour that night before when her honor walk was the next day.
And when it came time to escort her mother down the corridors of Good Samaritan, Samantha says it was exactly what she had hoped for.
I had watched multiple honor walks before online and probably cried while I watched them, even though I didn't know the people. But to be part of one was a huge thing, and then for it to be my mom was even a bigger deal, bigger than I could have ever imagined. And the support that we had from family, friends, even our local fire department, lining the halls, we were just absolutely overwhelmed, but in a good way.
Samantha and her father approved of the hospital posting her mother's honor walk to their social media accounts, helping to raise awareness of organ donation and the selfless gift her mother made. And it's having a positive effect in our community.
I will say that through this process, I have had at least one person reach out to me and say that because of what she witnessed with my mom, she's going to sign up to be an organ donor. And I had another friend who she wants to volunteer to make the donor blankets because the Indiana Donor Network gives a donor blanket to each donor family. And so she wants to help make those blankets. And I think that's fantastic that people loved my mom that much and love me that much that they want to be a part of it.
Lisa's honor walk is also prompting new discussions that many families haven't thought of having with their loved ones.
It's an important conversation to have because maybe your loved one wants to do that and maybe they have not checked the box or signed the paper for their license to become an organ donor. And so maybe you don't know what their final wishes are. And I know death and dying is not a fun thing to talk about, but I think it's important for a family to discuss all of that just to know where each other stands. And as far as making the decision to become an organ donor, I think look at it like I did, like my mom did. You know, you don't need your organs where you're going. So if you can save a life, I don't know what more selfless gift you can give somebody than to save their life.
So far, Samantha says they know that Lisa's donations have resulted in 2 different successful kidney transplants, as well as a number of organ research projects. Samantha says it may be months before they know just how many lives have been positively impacted. Well, who can forget the historic run successfully executed by the Lady Spartan basketball team? It was the first state basketball title in South Knox school history. Adam Reinhardt takes us back to that amazing ending to an unforgettable season.
Determination and true grit, the South Knox Lady Spartans did what no other team at the school had accomplished. Led by head coach Holly Eves, a former Lady Spartan herself, South Knox's journey to the top was years in the making. Before this season, the program had won 6 sectional titles, but had never advanced beyond regional play. That all changed this year as the Spartans secured the school's first ever state championship in any varsity sport. South Knox faced and even beat top-ranked opponents throughout the season, finishing with a 22-2 regular season record and sitting at number 1 in the Class 2A polls for much of the season. Last year's sectional loss to North Knox served as motivation for a senior class determined to leave a legacy. Players like Ella Bogue, Delaney Coombs, and Brent Hill had been on the team since their freshman year, but had never even won a sectional until now. Bogue said that players had been determined to make this year special since that loss to the Warriors. On the Friday before the state finals, she said fan support was a huge asset as they headed off to Indianapolis.
Obviously, we're super excited. We've been preparing all week. Our coach has a great game plan, and we're ready to go out and execute, but we're super excited to play together. It's going to be me and Britt and Coombs' last game, and so I think we're just soaking in every moment we can, and we're just ready to go. So
Spartan fans packed the gyms at North Knox, Charlestown, and Jasper during the postseason run, and students stormed the court in Jasper to celebrate the school's first ever semi-state title. The South Knox crowd then filled nearly half of Gainbridge Fieldhouse on March 1st, ready to witness history.
Our sophomore year, the top bleachers didn't even get pulled out, so I think to win state was a really big moment for our school and our community.
The state final against Rensselaer Central started slow, with both teams struggling offensively in the first quarter. But South Knox found its rhythm and led by 13 at the half. Then the Spartans controlled the second half to win 55-33 and secure the school's first ever state title. At the end of the first quarter, longtime South Knox educator and coach C.J. Carey was honored with the IHSAA Champion Educator Award, recognizing him as an inspiring educator. Carey, who coached Eves during her high school career, has been a key figure in the school's athletic history. Eves said since becoming coach, it's always been a goal to win state.
To put all the pieces together, it takes kids buying into you as a coach, and it takes parents that buy into you as a coach, and we really had that this year. They all believed in each other, and all these parents just really bought in behind me and helped me succeed and would do whatever I needed, and that's a huge key part of this.
The celebration continued the day after the win as the team was welcomed home by a packed gym and with speeches by former coaches C.J. Carey and Carolyn Piper. While South Knox will say goodbye to a senior class that helped redefine the program, the future remains bright as several key players return next season, including Kendall Hill, who led the Spartans in the finals with 18 points and 10 rebounds. But regardless of what the future holds, this season will always be remembered as the year the Lady Spartans made history. For First City Focus, I'm Adam Reinhardt.
Now that's an achievement those young ladies and our community will never forget. Many folks now are flocking to their favorite beach for the summer vacation, enjoying the serenity of the ocean side. But as one local artist showed us earlier this year, some human habits are taking a toll on ocean life. Fernando Lozano is a local artist and activist whose latest exhibit, Portrait of the Sea, explores the environmental impact of ocean pollution. His work highlights the vast amount of plastic waste accumulating in the world's oceans and the long-term consequences of human actions.
Yeah, no, I do art, and I'm an activist, and I do a lot of other things. And art, I think, is basically pretty much over the years a way of seeing different points of view, different things, really generating a conscience of events that sometimes we miss, and basically kind of putting a light into it, right?
This project was 10 years in the making and is a multi-sensory experience, blending visual art, music, and digital elements to immerse viewers in the issue.
This thing will never be destroyed. It will become tiny, 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 but it will never disappear, right? And that to me was like, wait a minute. That is amazing that this thing that we created is never going to be disintegrated.
The centerpiece of Portrait of the Sea is a large-scale digital installation capturing the movement of ocean currents and floating plastic debris. Lozano wanted to not only find a way to show the damage being done, but also the delicate balance between beauty and destruction. So he created a screen to project a video surrounded by the harmful plastic.
The reflection, I mean, you can see that. The reflection on the plastic is sparkling, right? It's beautiful, but at the same time, it is, in a way, I want to say, it's beautiful when you see it, but don't be aware of it. It's dangerous.
As we said, music will also be a big part of this exhibit. Lozano partnered with Indiana University's music department to compose an original soundtrack enhancing the experience. Lozano says his goal was to bring the ocean into the gallery.
I called my friend Javier Leon, the professor over there, and he put me in contact with a great composer, Laura Pacheco, and she has created a piece that I have to say that the moment that she sent me and I listened to it, I cry. I mean, I tend to cry a lot anyway, right? I'm a very sensitive person.
We will have to wait until the show in March in Jasper to hear the new composition, as Fernando does not want to release the emotional piece of music just yet. The project is deeply personal for Fernando, who has long used his art to address social and environmental issues. He says the music, the visuals, even the materials he uses, all contribute to the feeling he has and wants to convey to others.
You know, I've been talking about war, I've been talking about discrimination, I've been talking about conflicts with coal mine. All my art is about that, you know, the conflicts. And sometimes, you know, I said to a lot of people, it's not that you need to agree with me, it's that you are aware of the problem.
Fernando's hope is that Portrait of the Sea will not just be an art exhibit, but a conversation starter about our responsibility to the planet. For photojournalist Dave Novak, Tessa Haig, and Amy Norton, I'm Dave Foster for First City Focus. Such a talented display to bring awareness to an important issue. Let's go back now to a special night of the year when a large group of volunteers banded together to make a night to remember for many remarkable people from within our community.
A Night to Shine is an event started by the Tim Tebow Foundation. It is an international event celebrated worldwide. Our local community is lucky enough to be one of the host sites.
It is a prom for all special needs, so they can feel special for the night. It was started about 11 years ago, and it's directed just for them so they can have fun. It also gives the caregivers a night off or a couple hours off where they're not worried about their kids.
They've been talking about it for like a few weeks now. Yeah.
They're always so excited.
Yeah. They got ready like 3 hours early.
Yeah.
She's really excited to get to be socializing with some of her friends and get to dance and have a good time.
She doesn't get out a whole lot. This is something she looks forward to every year.
Do all their hair, their makeup, and all that stuff, get their crowns and tiaras and their buddies, and then they go over to Highland Woods.
The kings and queens get to arrive to the dance in style, taking either party buses or limousines.
So when they come in, they walk in on the red carpet. We announce their name, we celebrate who they are. They go to get their picture taken, their prom picture, and then they can have a seat and they can play games or they can get snacks. 6 o'clock, the meal will start. They'll eat their meal, they'll go to the photo booth, take fun photos with their friends, and then just celebrate the night and dance the night away.
This event is made possible through countless volunteer hours and resources.
So it normally takes, we pair up buddies one-on-one with the kings and queens, so we have 150 buddies, and then it takes about 100 volunteers in the background to actually make everything happen. On paper, it's a $48,000 event, and we can get it down to about $10,000 or $12,000. So yeah, the community rallies around us. There's a lot of donations of money and their time and their talents.
And what an amazing night it was. One of the kings and queens even got engaged, and she was beaming with pride when she showed me her ring.
Wow, yeah!
Others had their own very favorite parts of the night.
The dancing, and then talking to people, being friends with people, yeah.
The meatloaf was amazing.
Organizers say they are so happy with how this year's event turned out, but they are already thinking about how to make next year's even better.
As soon as we finish this night, we will start planning for next year.
Okay. This night was truly special for everyone who attended.
Our very first year we planned it, we thought we're going to go in there and we're just going to bless these kings and queens, and it totally reversed on us. It was us that was blessed.
For photojournalists Tessa Haig and Amy Norton, I'm Allison Bowers.
That is awesome. And plans are already underway for next year's Night to Shine. Not long ago, several animal shelters across southwest Indiana teamed up for a mega adoption event. The goal was to relieve the constant overcrowding that plagues shelters like the one right here in Vincennes. Let's take a look.
So last year, about 9 to 10 organizations got together and we created a coalition. We're calling it the Southwestern Indiana Adoption Event. We are all working together to fight this animal overpopulation problem. And so we're getting together twice now to do low-cost adoptions. All the pets that we're adopting out are spayed, neutered, vaccinated, microchipped, and they're ready to go, and we're discounting those fees for the pup.
How did you hear about Max? Where did you see Max first?
On the website for the shelter.
How did you know he was going to be here today and not one of the dogs that they kept at the shelter?
I didn't. I was just hopeful.
So was it like kind of a decision, if he was here, it was a definite you were going to get him?
Yes, and he's just the sweetest boy, so.
If you can adopt, shelters and rescues always need support, whether that's in monetary donations, supply donations. Supplies can range from food, enrichment, treats, to cleaning supplies, paper towels, trash bags, bleach, Dawn, dish soap. People, don't think about laundry that we do, so we do a lot of laundry detergent helps. So any kind of donation that you can make, from a $1 donation to a $100 donation, goes a long way.
The Vincennes Animal Shelter does remain at full capacity, and anyone who is able to take in a new furry friend is encouraged to stop by and check out some of the great cats and dogs up for adoption. Well, this next story took some of our own to new heights. Dave Novak and Nicole Carey ventured down to Evansville this past spring to go over the edge for Granted's annual fundraiser. And while Dave is an experienced rappeller, Nicole will tell you that's not the case for her. Let's look as they scale down a 9-story building with the goal of supporting local children facing life-threatening conditions.
I feel so excited. Can't believe I'm doing this.
Only 10 stories.
Only 10 stories. That's a lot. That's a lot more. I like the first story. I mean, I like good views, and I like, nice views from tall buildings, but not usually to go down them then.
All right, so we are here at Centerpoint Energy Building. It is Over the Edge weekend, and we've got some VIPs behind us, and we're going to go up to the roof with them, kind of show you what that's like. So tell the people who you are and why you're here. Get up here, folks. Get up here. Who are you and why are you here?
Nicole Carey, Dave Novak. We're with Vincennes PBS, Vincennes University Broadcast Stations, and we are excited to be here to support Granted.
This is your first time?
Yes, very first time. She goes, that first step off the ledge, she goes, that was big.
So I've got a mutual acquaintance that's on the Granted board. We've been great friends. It's a really great cause. We've connected over the years. I've always wanted to support. It's just seeing them, take care of and give back to these kids that are just fighting these battles and struggles every day. So it's just heartwarming to see the kids and show up for them and show them that the community surrounds them with support.
Yeah.
So that means a lot.
No backing out now. It's quite exciting so far. I'm a little anxious.
You're at the edge.
But I'm excited to do this. Ready? Okay. I'm going. I'm not going to stay out here much longer.
There are no friends on the wall. It's all your own time. So.
Nicole, what do you want to say to your family and friends watching?
Pray for me. No, this actually is great, and I actually, this rain's kind of calming. You're the slowest rappeller ever.
Stay by your side.
You got it, Rachel. Hello.
That's gonna make it even more exciting.
Whee!
Okay, just keep going down.
Thank goodness.
And you can stand up now.
Oh my gosh.
Congratulations.
On the ground. And now my legs are like, hello, what did we just do? Oh my goodness. That was nerve-wracking, but I'm glad I did it.
It was incredible. The team here made me feel very safe. They were very encouraging. And I don't know if I could have done it without them, but I'm so glad I went over the edge.
And how'd you get involved with it?
So I did my first event in 21 after having weight loss surgery, and I did it just because I could, even though I was terrified of heights, and wanted to do it one more time. Found out about the volunteer, that if I volunteer I get to do it, and I've been hooked ever since. This is my 16th event.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You'll want to stay tuned to see if we can get any more of our team here at Vincennes PBS to rappel next spring. And now for our final focus. Once again this summer, we welcomed several talented students to our studios for the Vincennes University Broadcasting Camp. The campers impressed us with their skills, and we're excited to share some of their work with you. Let's watch.
The editing for our Red Skeleton videos were fun. It was just fun to learn how to edit on a computer. Whenever I was in the radio part and did like a mini podcast. I like doing the weather. You gotta be behind a green screen and it was cool.
It's been really fun. I feel like I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot of software and a lot of like technical stuff that I wouldn't have been able to just figure out on my own.
My favorite part would either be the podcast or it was the controlling the audio or camera.
I'm Caroline Veek. I'm Aidlin Emick. I'm Eloise Veek. Curtis Snyder.
I'm Caleb Borstel. I'm Michael Irvin.
I'm Noah Chris. Estelle Rish.
I'm Anna Dobb.
I'm Elliot Rish.
I'm Iva Summers.
I'm Otto Hess.
With this news break on Vincennes PBS, I'm Hugo McVeigh. Get more news online at vincennes.pbs.org.
And that's all for this edition of First City Focus. For everyone here at Vincennes PBS, I'm Dave Foster. Join us again next week.
First City Focus is supported in part by Duke Energy, powering the lives of its customers and communities. Online at duke-energy.com. Andy Ellerman of First City Wealth, serving Vincennes and surrounding communities to help with investing and planning for your future before and during retirement years. First City Wealth online at firstcitywealth.com. Colonial Assisted Living. Colonial is an assisted living residence promoting independence and dignity for each resident while providing the necessary assistance for daily living. Colonial Assisted Living, 1622 South Hart Street Road in Vincennes, 812-895-1504. And by donations contributed by Vincennes PBS viewers like you. Thank you.